how to say man in Spanish. So, if you look at the word in Spanish, it's actually something like this: hombre. So the pronunciation is not hombre, but hombre. Okay. So here, first we need to solve one problem: is whether this is like a noun, right? So we need to understand this is a masculine or a feminine noun. Man, obviously, is a masculine noun. So, you know what? When you say the man, you should say first is the masculine, so it's the el hombre. That's the first thing. The second thing is, well, even though this got like no accent mark, like do, something like that, we got like a u, right? Do, we got at least the accent mark, but hombre do not have any accent mark, which make you feel that it's a little bit weird. Why it should call hombre? The stress is obviously it's kind of like this. So I'm going to type it out. It's kind of like okay? You kind of feel that you stress the first and you will notice another really, really important rule in Spanish pronunciation is that H is silent. Okay? Because it's not hombre, it's not like home, but rather silent. You just ignore this and then stress this and then ble. So basically become hombre. And why is that? Why in modern Spanish the letter H is silent? You know what? It's kind of like a rule. Most of the time the H is silent. Okay? No sound at all. It's, you might say, well, why not just, just write this way? Yeah, obviously we can do that, but it's still there for, historical reasons, not for the pronunciation. One of the great things about learning Spanish is that pronunciation is so easy. There's no changes, and no changes of stress, no changes from pronunciation. You just read it aloud. Read it in the order of the letter being written. But there's some quirky things, but it's kind of consistent unless for some special cases. For here, the H is here for historical reasons, but it's not for pronunciation reasons. So you don't need to read this aloud. Let me just give you another example. So for example, hola. Hola, if you think about it, it should write this way. But you know what? The H is silent. So write hola this way, but H do not need to be pronounced. Okay?